All right. It being 6:12 and a quorum being present, I'm gonna call the September 17th meeting of the Conservation Commission to order. We are being recorded and broadcasted and for future broadcasts on cable. First business is acceptance of meeting minutes for September 4th.
Motion to approve as written.
Is there any discussion? And or a second?
Second.
All those in favor by roll call?
Clock eye.
Williamson abstain.
Gentilucci, aye.
And Dan's aye. All right, those are approved. All right, so our first order of business, since we have no applications or public hearings, is the pond on Moulton Mill Road. Discuss the complaint received by DEP for the pond and 69 Palmagussit Road. I believe we have you here and then on Zoom too? Okay. So I think first we just wanted to get an understanding of kind of what has happened. We got a complaint of some siltation that happened, and it seemed like you guys had done a drawdown of some sorts of Moulton, of the pond. So just looking to get some information, really.
Okay. Ever since they got rid of the beavers across the street, the water dropped. We do have access to an 8-inch pipe that has been buried because of all the rainstorms or whatever. My father uncovered that. My name is Jesse Warrington, my father
Yes.
he uncovered that and now it's just a little stream going through there. We've been to these meetings before they started the dam, wondering what was going on, how to get the silt out of our side versus the other side, even before the whole project on Palmagussit started, so there is a lot of silt in there that he had moved out of the way to get to that 8-inch. That way the water wouldn't sit there and start sinking, because it wouldn't raise up. There he is. So talk to him. He's the one been doing the work, so he's the homeowner.
Yeah, so any other information you can provide?
Yeah, it's like my son had said, it's a 10-inch pipe, and we have access to it through the other side of the waterfall. By prodding it, it released all the sediment that's come down from the banking. Through the years, I had complained to the town several times about all the sediment coming down from the road prior to the construction. Everything came down and supposedly went through like a 18-inch black pipe at the top of the banking, and not much of it was actually going through that 18-inch pipe, and eventually the whole banking ended up down into the pond, especially after the construction last year and the heavy rains and the road being under construction. Everything was coming down, not going down any type of pipe or anything. It was just going down the banking into my river settling into the pond. Everything going down the other side of the road was going right directly into the dam, not into the pond, directly into the dam and down through into my pond. The pond used to be 8 feet deep. It's no longer at its deepest, probably maybe a foot and a half. It's built up extremely bad.
Did you say it's built up from the
River
sediment?
used to come
Sorry.
sediment, as well as the banking that come down from Route 56. The whole banking is down into the pond.
Okay.
As well as the sediment through the years.
Last time we had
The sand coming down the road before they repaved it was just immense. It was, like a river coming down. And they put a berm up on the other side of the road to stop the sand from going through the parking lot on the fishing side, with people parked on the fishing side. And all that sand ended up washing down into the pond. But then they ended up putting berms up, which created everything to go down into the dam. not into the pond, on the large pond. It went directly into the dam and then through the dam into my pond. So my pond is just full of sediment from the banking as well as the road, as well as the sediment just sitting there through the course of the years.
Okay.
Because the pipe had been blocked from so much coming down.
So is the only work that you did was unclogging that pipe?
Well, I had to maintain, I have a prod that I'm able to keep the pipe free, because all it takes is, it's only a 10-inch pipe. All it takes is some debris to, a branch or something to come down and get stuck in front of it. So I have to keep maintaining it. And now that the river is low, I have to maintain my dam is in quite bad shape. I've been trying to do construction over it over the past years. Was where the water used to go through the house. It no longer goes through the house now, unless we get to high water mark. The high water mark, the water ends up going directly into the basement. I have large holes, and I've only got a 2-foot narrowest point at the dam. I have to reinforce to get it to about 4 feet wide at least. And then I do some concrete work, because the dam itself is could possibly just fall off the pad.
Okay, so in the last 2 weeks, it was just cleaning debris from that pipe, that 10-inch pipe? Or you did work to the dam as well?
Well, I'm trying to do work to the dam as well. It's a combination of both. I have to keep that pipe free.
Okay. Do you fall, like, is this dam under the Office of Dam Safety? Is that, or is it just an earthen?
I don't think so.
No, it's very large stones. It's a stone dam that my guess is probably 300 years old. There's large stones that are probably 5-6 feet in diameter, and they're all piled up, and it's a stone soil dam with a concrete pad at the waterfall, and then there's a 4-foot pipe to the left of the concrete pad. That's my primary. The concrete pad is my third exit. My first is the 10. And then over by Moulton Road, they paved that road, my guess is probably about 10 years ago, and they raised the road and put in an 18-inch pipe. My exit the emergency exit used to be Moulton Pond. I have like an 8-inch concrete pad that went off onto Moulton Pond, but they ended up to raise the road about 2 feet, put in an 18-inch pipe. So that there is my last exit, is the 18-inch pipe. And all those exits go into one exit, and that all goes underneath Moulton Road. And that's a 2x4 pipe. I have 4 feet exit, 4-foot pipe exit, and an 8-foot exit, and a 10-inch exit, all going into a 2x4 exit that goes underneath Moulton Road. I've had experiences where they released the dam and the water level got to within, I'd say, 6 inches from going over Moulton Road, because so much water was backed up. I ended up with 6 feet of water in my basement.
Okay.
I had an emergency up to DPW, and they ended up coming down and putting a large log in front of the dam to stop the water from flowing. And that's how they regulated the dam, was by putting debris in front of it.
So what are your, I guess, imminent and long-term plans for stabilizing or,
Well, my pond has a natural drain in it with the 10-inch pipe.
the dam?
And I've been after the town to do something about the sediment, and nobody seems to want to listen. I've been after them for 5 years to stop the sediment from coming down the road into my pond.
But what,
And I've asked the Conservation Commission several times over the past years about the sediment coming down, building up into my pond.
what about your,
This isn't the first time that there's been a low level that the pipe has been released. This is like the third time over the past 5 years that pipe has been released.
what do you expect to be doing in the next couple weeks or future for the dam itself in terms of maintenance or improvements?
Well, I have to do a lot of concrete work. That's gonna go all the way over to the concrete pad. That's, like I said, I only have a 2-foot section at the narrowest point, which is way too narrow, and the water just pours through when there's a high water mark. You know, I've had high water within a foot of going over my total banking. You know, everything can be released out of my pond for the most part, but then when it goes through over the waterfalls is where the problem is on Moulton Road. With my dam, it's a matter of time and effort and money to redo the concrete work and rebuild my dam. The sediment, I don't know what the town wants to do with the sediment. They've been dumping it into my pond for several years, and I've talked to Joe Buckley, and he says, well, if the plan is, and the plan is, and yeah, the plan is, everything's been going in the plan, but nothing has been the plan of what is going to be done with my pond. Just can't be a dump zone for all this sediment that's come down from Palmagussit.
Understood. Are there questions from the commission?
Do we have a copy of the DEP letter or complaint that we could look at?
Yeah, I think it's in the SharePoint. I think there were some photos taken from Roger Wilkes from Mass DOT. Because I think initially the complaint, we thought it was coming from the Route 56 project.
Well, it is partially of the project. I mean, it's been through the years that the town has neglected and everything come down, but with the project, that has compounded it for sure over the past couple of years. I mean, last year was horrible with all that stuff that was coming down, the sediment from the road. I lost probably 2 feet last year. The whole banking has gone off of 56.
I was just gonna
It's almost like a 90-degree. It used to be like a 45-degree angle. Now it's like a sheer, well, it's gone now probably. I have pictures. I have lots of pictures.
Yeah, so this started with kind of a neighbor being concerned about the silt and the kind of drawdown of the pond. So Mass
Yeah, I spoke with Scott.
Are there other questions, comments from the commission?
Are you guys going to be able to help? Or?
Well, I think, we have to understand I understand you get a lot of sediment from, Route 56, you have come to us before, but I think there's also need to make sure that there's not, being exasperated by, work that you may be doing and making sure that it's in compliance with, our state regs as well. So, if you're doing work, especially if you're doing any digging or, changing the area at all, that is something that then comes before us before it's done.
Well, it's not too often you can get a low water mark like this and being able to have an extended period to work on the dam. I have holes that are 3 feet that the water just pours through. I can put 2 arms through some of the holes. It's it definitely needs some work.
I totally understand that.
I'm digging now. Where I'm digging, there's no water, so I'm not disturbing the water. Before, when I had to open my 10-inch pipe and with the long prod there and keeping it free of debris, I mean that is going to drain itself, the pond. I don't know what's going to happen when we get a heavy rain.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the concern is that if you're doing some digging and you have exposed soils and we get something like a large rainstorm and it comes through, it'll pick up that loose dirt and sediment as
Yes,
well.
well, that's my concern. That's why I was there not last week, the week before, because, it's the pond's natural drain is, it's been there for 300 years. This is the way the pond was built. And I've tried to get people to listen about my problem, but nobody seems to listen. I mean, I have to drain my pond, otherwise I'm gonna have when I have high water mark, it's just gonna wash right over my house. I'm not gonna have anything as a berm. Do you understand?
Yes.
The pond used to be 8 feet deep.
But do you want to maintain the pond, or do you want to remove it and get rid of it?
No, I'm trying to maintain it.
So,
It's been neglected for sure, and by the town for many, many years.
so the responsibility of the dam,
Ever since I've lived there, I've gone to Joe Buckley, and he says, well, there's nothing I can do because the plan is to redo the dam and then everything's gonna be solved. I says, yeah, but what about the problem of me having to deal with all the sediment that's being put there? And he couldn't give me an answer. And that's why I've been to the Conservation Commission over the past years. For you guys to figure out what you wanna do.
there's no designs whatsoever on the dam anyway, right?
I don't know, go back 300 years, I don't know. It was a mill at one time,
So it was an earth dam.
yes. Earth and stone. What I want to do is put a concrete berm in the front. So it's not just a stone.
My own personal.
And there's a concrete pad there that's probably 25, 30 feet right now. But I want to extend that all the way through the front of the house. Not just have a stone earthen dam. I want to have a concrete as well as the stone. I want something that's going to be, because right now the stones are so porous because of, over the course of the years. And there were some large trees that had died on the other side of the dam. So when those died, I think maybe about 15, 20 years ago during the storm of 2008, I think it was, 2 large trees around the house both came down, and all those roots submerged through the dam. And that's why every time I get a high water mark, that water just seeps through. So now I'm trying to take the edge of the dam and reinforce all that, not even in the water, because the water is 6 feet down from where I'm working now.
Is there anybody that could redesign that? Or is that his responsibility?
If it's on private property, I think technically it would be his responsibility.
Well, whose responsibility? Well, I'll take responsibility to redo the dam, but whose responsibility is for putting all the debris in the pond? That's the issue, isn't it?
So we have talked about it with the Route 56, and the sedimentation into the ponds. And it is something, you know, that we had the Mass DOT's wetland consultant go out and do an initial review of the areas, and then it is something that is on continuous docket for after the completion of the project to do a more full examination of the impacts that have happened. So it's, you know, I want you to know that it's not something that has been forgotten, you know, but as
I think that's all to do with the other pond, though, I do believe. It has nothing to do with my pond. Because all the measurements they were doing was all in the other pond, and I kept saying, you guys are all over on the other side. All the sediment is coming up. The only sediment that came down was on the upside of Palmagussit, where the water came down and went through the parking lot. That's the only sediment that went through there, and they fixed that by putting the berms up. And then everything that came down the road went directly into the dam, into my pond.
okay, well, at least my understanding, and I guess what I'll say to you is it's definitely something that I'm looking to make sure is included, you know, for the after
Good.
effects.
I appreciate that.
I think also, you know, making sure that, you know, the work that you're doing is also complying, you know, with our regulations and, you know, we do have someone from DCR here. I don't know, Alan, if you have any questions that you have.
Yeah, I would really stop any work at this point and come talk to DCR first so that we can see that you're not impacting anything downstream. So I can
Well, what
reach
about
out.
my dam? If we happen to get a flood where there's 5 or 10 inches of rain, my dam could be risk of going over.
Right now, I don't see that in the.
If it doesn't get addressed, I mean, they just had 20 inches of rain down south. And this is a nice dry period that we've had. I mean, in order to get this dam, you know, you guys want to look at it, you make a decision quickly.
Yeah, I can give you my contact number, or contact info, if you have your email address, if you wanna give it to the Concom, and
Yes,
I
my
can reach
email,
out to you.
yep, my email is jorw5375@gmail.com. I mean, I don't know how many meetings I've been to and nobody ever seems to want to listen.
Did you go out there, Jared?
No.
I think if we went out during a rain event, we could get an idea of the source of like the bulk of the sediment, like where is it coming from?
Now,
Say if we were to do a site visit during a rain event.
well, it's hard to tell now with all this construction that's going on. You know, I've been away for a couple of days, so I don't know what's going on right now. But as far as I know, the site doesn't look anything like it did. I mean, my site is exactly the way I left it a few days ago. But I don't know what's going on up the street. I don't know what type of work they've done in the past few days. So whether it comes with a rain event, I don't think they know what's going to happen. You know, they put up a bunch of berms and stuff with the new piping that came through. You know, they put those 2 large drain pipes to drain the pond from one side to the other, and they just started to run that through just the other day. And they got that at a very low level. They got that at about the same level that it was running through the dam. I asked them, I says, well, you know, what's your plan on how you're going to regulate the water going through those pipes? And I guess they can regulate it depending on how much water is on the other side, I was happy about that. But if it comes to a major rain issue, I'm very concerned.
Okay. Well, it's,
One thing I'd like to mention is before they were able to regulate anything, they went down with a backhoe or excavator and was taking debris out of the front of the access that went under Palmagussit. So every time, because of the beavers or whatever problem they had. So the whole pond across the street was, it was flooding all the trees.
Oh, I know, I mean, it was 5 feet above the normal.
It was just gush onto our side. And
Yeah.
then, they
That's horrible.
back it off a little bit to regulate how much water was coming through, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah, I
that,
had to pay to get 2 beavers out of my pond because they kept blocking my dam too.
I know the rail trail has, that runoff on that side that's never been used.
Say that again? Say that again?
The rail trail has
Yeah.
that runoff for, the street water that's never been used.
Yeah,
And then they fixed up the street across from the ball field. The DPW did that. But this has been going, I know, down Miles Road, there's been complaints because of the water going down there too, so. He hasn't dug a river, he hasn't been doing anything as far as digging anything out, having it go downstream, this is all natural. Whatever's in there ends up down the river. I mean, he's not working in the water digging, he's working in the dry area, so. I don't see how he's doing anything wrong at this point, other than fixing his own property.
Okay. Well, it looks like, DCR, I think I would talk with Alan, whose email you just gave to. I think they have some, regulations that also might come into play in terms of, the watershed protection areas.
But he's not trying to change anything, he's just fixing what the problem is on his
Yeah,
side to save his house.
I understand, but you also need to make sure.
this is all issues that I've been telling the town, but now it's blaming me.
Right.
I don't think we're,
Nobody's
necessarily blaming you, it's just making sure that everything is happening in the correct order. If you need specific permits, whether it's from Concom or DCR, making sure you're having them, or even, if you don't, it's making sure that while you're doing this work, we're doing it in a way that is most beneficial, to the river, and the ponds, cause we don't like to see the big plumes of sediment, understanding that maybe it just came from the clogged pipe. But there are ways to kind of, assist and go about that to, while you're doing that work, limit those impacts, in terms of, sediment removal, or, making sure that it's done in a low flow or dry period. Cause just that sudden, gush and all that sediment, it just kind of scours it. It has kind of more repercussions than sometimes you would think, even if, the end result, you've unclogged your pipe, but because it is so backed up, that velocity of how it's gonna come out is gonna kind of scour, that bed and carry anything with it at a higher rate. So,
My concern is that the pipe is open, all this sediment is gonna go somewhere. This is the natural function of the pond. That's why I've been after you people for years. This is the design of the pond. I tried to talk to the project manager for the dam, and I says, my suggestion is to take the water and put it all the way past my dam. And that way there would be no water involved, and you guys could dredge out what the pond's to be. That was my suggestion a couple of years ago,
I remember that, yep.
and nobody wanted to listen because everything was being dumped into my pond, and everybody was concerned about the sediment on the other side of the road and nothing about the sediment on my side. I says, you guys are looking on the wrong side. And nobody wanted to listen.
Okay.
It was very frustrating because now my pond's in jeopardy. If we get a heavy rain, my property can get washed out. I don't have the berm of a pond anymore.
any other thoughts, questions, next steps? I'm kind of,
Do we have permission to go on your property to look at the situation?
It's
Yes.
just right from Miles Road.
I appreciate it if you did it when my son was there, though.
Okay.
Sure.
I won't be home until Friday.
Okay.
I'm out of town.
It's the last driveway right at the construction zone, so they'll let you down that far. Going down Palmagussit versus going down Miles Road or up Moulton Road, you can access the backside. Or our driveway is the last driveway at the construction zone.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be there when you come. Or my son be there as well, one or the other.
yeah,
Well,
we,
when's you plan on coming?
do you wanna set a specific date?
Does anyone else want to look at it?
I would
I would
like
like to
to.
look at it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I think it'd be good to see it in person.
You said you're back on Friday?
Yes,
I'm away this weekend, but if you guys are free and wanna go,
Yeah, he should be home by Friday noontime. You know, like I said, it's just,
don't wanna rush you home.
well, he has to check out, so it's only an hour and a half away.
Oh,
What do you think?
yeah, I'm anxious because, you know, this weather is good. You know, we've been awful lucky for this past month.
You work Friday?
And, you know, like I said, all it's gonna take is a hurricane or something, we're gonna be in trouble. Hopefully they get this project done in 4 weeks.
I could do late in the day Friday.
Is that still the projection? Is that still the projection, is 4 weeks more for this project? Does anybody know?
No idea.
Oh, I don't know.
The street closure is scheduled through September 30th, and then the full completion is scheduled for October 14th, tentatively.
so yeah, that sounds like about
Yeah.
4 weeks.
Yeah, right, for another 4 weeks. Yeah, that was my projection, they said 4 to 6.
Okay. You guys, Friday,
That afternoon, Friday, what time? 6? Two,
I was gonna say, yeah, either late afternoon Friday or Saturday morning.
That's perfect.
I think I could probably do either. What's better for you?
same,
Either?
either.
Okay.
do you wanna do 5 on Friday, or is that too early?
I think that
5:30?
should work for me.
Alright, how's 5 on Friday?
That's very good.
Okay, at least 2 of us will be there. Tamika, will you just send an email out to the rest and if they can attend? I will be headed away, but I trust you guys.
Will they confirm by email or just to him?
Huh?
Will they confirm with him by email?
No, they're definitely.
Confirmed,
It's confirmed now.
We'll definitely
Yeah,
be there,
sorry.
yes. We may have a few more members that
Yeah.
might want to attend
Yeah,
too.
right.
Yeah.
So there'll at least be them too.
Okay.
So it's 68 Palmagussit,
69.
69.
69.
You'd end up on the
Sorry.
other side of the
I have a
road.
scratch right in the middle, I can't see anything all day. Okay.
Alan, anything else that you wanna say as of now? Comments, questions that you want answered?
Actually, just one question. How deep was the pond when you poked the hole in the drain? Was it 8 feet deep and then you poked the hole in the drain and then it's now?
Well, the drain is, my guess is the drain is 6 feet down from my next water release. Does that make sense to you?
Okay.
So
So,
it's 6 feet down, and it goes all the way through the waterfall, comes out the other side. My guess it's 18 feet long, the pipe, 20 feet long.
It's something that's been there for a long time. It's metal 10-inch pipe.
yeah,
It's you got the house, and you got a culvert that goes to the side of the house. Then you got another one that's 4x4, 4x4, and then a 2-foot black one.
Yeah.
And this 10-inch one is underneath the ground, underneath that first one. So
okay.
he regulates it by going on the side of the house, down by the big opening, and shoving a rod through the other end, which is like 15 feet from one side to the other. So There used to be a water wheel there, the metal water wheel
Mhm.
is still actually on the backside of the house, so. They used to use that to run the mill.
Okay.
My guess is. It's all original stuff that he's just trying to
Yeah.
fix up, you know?
I might try to swing out there,
Yeah,
Wednesday or Thursday if you're around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll send you an email and then
okay,
go from there,
okay,
or I'll get your contact info.
okay, thank you.
Alright, so I'd say don't do anything crazy in the next week. And you know, Alan will talk to you a little bit more from the DCR side. You know, I think from the commission side, you know, we holistically are concerned about the sediment, you know, not just from this,
Very
but also from Route 56. So I would, you know, reiterate, at least it was my understanding that we would also look at your pond as well. So I can say that now, at least, so to give you some peace of mind that, you know, after the Route 56 work is done, we'll make sure that that side of the road is followed up with as well by their environmental consultants.
Very good.
Do we need to re-engage with
I appreciate your help.
on this?
It wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
I can send Chris an email
Yeah.
and just give him, you know, hey, this is what we are talking about.
Cause if a lot of the sediment's coming off of the road, that, my
Yeah.
mind, that should be addressed by DPW somehow.
Yeah,
So if I may.
If you look at the river, it comes directly straight, and there's some large rocks that are probably, my guess, 5 feet, 6 feet large. And the river went directly straight, and then because all the sediment had come down over the past years, is large pebble-like stuff that had come down from the banking. So no longer can the river go straight. It takes the quick left-hand turn and comes around to the left-hand side of the pond.
Yep.
Because so much sediment had built up that now there's cat and nine tails that have taken over that area. So the river used to go directly down the middle years ago, but now it takes turn because so much sediment has built up in the front of the pond. So it actually has to go around it. But you'll see that when you come look at it. I appreciate all your help.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last, you had something to
So I
speak
was
of?
just gonna add, and Mr. Warrington can correct me, I believe that you guys had done a site walk recently, and I think Roger from MassDOT was there, DPW, Austin was there. So I do think that DPW is aware of it, yeah, I think the
Okay.
site walk was fairly recent.
Okay,
I'm not sure if I was there, maybe I was, maybe it wasn't. I don't think I was, because I had come home from a doctor's appointment, and there was, I think, 6 or 7, and they were kind of halfway up the driveway. It looks like they had some type of meeting, but I wasn't involved with that meeting, I don't think.
okay, I'll reach out to our DPW director, Joe Buckley is gone, it's now Chris,
Chris is the
Kowalski, yes,
Chris
Yep.
is the supervisor now?
he sure is,
Oh, I thought he was
he's moved up in the world.
okay. Very good.
Yep. So I'll reach out to him and, you know, at least maybe get some notes from that visit, and just keep them in the loop moving forward. But yeah, definitely talk with DCR, Alan, you gave your email to tonight, and, you know, we have a next meeting in 2 weeks. You know, I don't think there's anything immediate we need to take unless the commission, I think as long as you kind of keep it status quo, you know, no work, at least unless there somehow does become a tsunami comes.
Well, hopefully, we can get some good information,
Yeah.
between your visit this week and, the Friday.
Perfect.
All
Awesome.
right, very good.
Thank you. I appreciate you hopping on and bearing with us in the beginning as we waited for.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. And thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate your time.
All right.
I'll give you my phone number.
Okay.
October 1
What about October
is our
1?
next meeting.
Is it really?
I don't know, I'm asking.
I guess it is.
But it makes me sad.
Yeah, that does make
I
me.
know, that's.
I love,
stinks.
I love fall, so I
I
really
love
can't be
fall
mad.
too, but summer's better.
Sweater weather, okay. Forest cutting plan, Ruber Walken Road, so I think I did find where it is. It is on the Berry border, kinda off of Prison Camp Road as well. In the blood swamp.
Thank you again.
Thank you, have a good night.
You too, bye-bye.
I don't even know,
The blood swamp.
the blood
Yeah.
swamp, learned that doing the open space and rec plan, that was exciting.
Who knew?
Yeah, who knew? Who knew? It looks like this has already been approved by DCR. Since it has Jacob's sign off as of 8/27. Sorry. My brain cells a lot, it's gone. Couldn't really get much. There's no stream or wetland crossings on this lot. Only the pre-existing haul roads will be utilized, so that's good.
Can you tell from their map?
No,
It's just really hard to tell
it is.
where they're actually harvesting timber.
Like where the stands are.
Yeah.
Only,
yeah.
it says
Do you have a
just,
color one, Melissa? Or
no,
is yours black and
I
white?
don't.
It's this-
Sorry, I said that with a little sass, my bad. It seems
fine.
like it is this, cause stand one is the only thing they're doing.
Yeah,
So I would
it's gotta
assume
be
it's this area, sorry, Skip. They don't seem to be taking a whole lot.
And this map says something about sale area, but all the colors are the same, so I can't really tell what that's pointing to. What area that includes. It's really hard to tell.
So they're taking some white pine, red oak, very small amount of black oak, white oak. So the total is 50 cords. That's it. So this is part of a long-term forest management, not short-term.
Okay.
And it is on DCR property. I didn't have any comments, did anyone else?
They're gonna be stricter than we are anyway, so.
Right, I hate to put it that way, but you know,
It's true.
Let's be
It's
truthful
true.
about it.
yeah.
They are strict and
This operation will be the final overstory removal stage of the shelter wood that was previously harvested in 2015. So the result of that harvest was abundant oak and pine regeneration. The entire overstory removal area is 12.8 acres, so it probably is that big area. A variety of mature white oak, pitch pine, red oak, pin oak, hickory, and hemlock will be retained. They're ringed with orange, somewhat evenly spread throughout the removal area where possible. So the objective is to fully release the abundant oak and pine regeneration in a final shelterwood harvest. It will diversify the age structure of the forest by removing the overstory in one final cut, releasing the advanced regeneration in most instances and allowing natural seed germination in others. So it's just opening up the overstory.
Okay.
So that things can grow unless the deer eat it, which is the problem. Yeah, just inside the Kitchen Fire Road gate.
That's crazy. Kitchen Fire Road. No.
This guy knew.
Reuben Walker.
Yeah.
Now we know.
I wonder who Reuben Walker is.
I know,
We're in Google.
Must be some old famous person.
must be.
Mrs. Putnam's cousin.
Yes, I like that. I'm going with that. Thank you very much. Okay, that's it for scheduled agenda items. Is there any other business that we would like to discuss? I believe there was an appeal.
I just wanted to look at that appeal letter that it was, I believe, signed by Kim Roth, the DEP.
This was the Miles Road one.
Yeah.
Just because I was, maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought Julian said she actually went out to the site and he explained,
good.
and then she said maybe maybe this wetland chief, is that what Judy's title is?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the wetland chief wasn't happy with that call or something?
So they're intervening because they are in the opinion that the order of conditions issued by the commission is inconsistent with Wetlands Protection Act and does not contribute to the protection of interests identified in the act. No, this one isn't the,
Am I the wrong site?
yeah,
That's why I'm
This isn't the long
so
driveway.
confused. Okay.
is that the one you're thinking of?
Where he said he created all the wetlands, but
That's what I was
below the
thinking of.
condos off.
That is
Main
this
Street.
one. But I think the one where you said, where Kim said it was all good, was the one with the long driveway that has the wetland fill. No, that is this one,
That
never
is this one.
mind.
Yeah,
You're right.
because, but the thing is, no, because to do the replication, he's gonna have to cut down a bunch of mature trees.
Yeah,
Right. Which we all agree doesn't make any sense.
So I'm wondering how it's not, it doesn't meet the performance standard for
I think because
BBW?
technically they didn't do a replication. So they're,
Specifically for that,
correct. So while, you know, we were understanding and kind of okay with the give back as it is becoming wetland on its own and kind of permanent protection, they wanna see those hard numbers, I would assume.
so then would they even accept, like, expand that wetland below the condos? Or do they want
I don't know.
it created in
It's-
uplands?
I don't think, it was just a notification of appeal, so
Yeah,
I don't think they've done their site visit or anything.
I've not had any
Yeah.
other communication since they
so,
said that,
okay, so
yeah.
DEP just takes it from now,
Gone.
fine, let
Gone.
Julian worry about it.
Have you heard anything about the Glenwood one,
No,
besides the site visit? That was not
no,
terribly
there's
long
been
ago.
no follow-up on that at all,
Oh,
I'm not
that's
sure the status.
Okay. Oh, another random thing that I thought about on the way here was, the Barry Paxton Road one with the wood chips. They never came back to us.
Oh, yeah.
They were supposed to do an NOI.
Yeah.
You can give them a little
Nudge.
nudge,
Ringy dingy.
little tickler, if you will. Nah, I take that back as well.
I already wrote that down.
Tickler, okay, thank you.
I did an exact quote.
Now that you say that, it
I
reminds
bet
me
you
of
were
another
thinking, I'm
one.
sorry, I came to the meeting, right?
That
I'm sure there's a lot,
There, I know,
unfortunately.
To be honest with you,
It happens.
where was it?
it's Tamika's fault, see. She didn't
They built a house
text
in
me
the
and say, hey, you
back.
got a meeting tonight.
There was gonna be
Somebody to
some
remind you.
replication work
Yeah,
done,
and she
'cause they
didn't
did a
get
little
eggs
bit of
Monday.
fill.
Emerald,
Emerald, yes.
Right?
was Elbag.
I think Mark Elbag
Yeah.
built that one. I remember doing a
Some of
site
your
walk
tomatoes too, those were
with,
delicious.
cause he wanted to not do the replication
they,
anymore.
think your
they,
green
yes,
pepper.
and they wanted to look at maybe
Just-
some
We
other
don't use any
options,
sprays.
so they would,
I know.
could avoid
Thing.
taking some trees
I know.
down.
No sprays
What
whatsoever.
about,
Though.
That's true.
have you got
Yeah.
squash
That's
out
true,
there?
and we didn't do a COC.
think
No,
I
we
saw
have
some-
not yet.
Maybe just
I guess that's
ask,
some butternut
I'll
out
try to
there.
remember
Yeah,
which address
right.
that is.
Lot of tickling going
Some-
on.
Well, my opinion, okay?
See if I
But
can
you think
find
it's Emerald Road, Jared?
It's definitely Emerald.
If I take a
Yeah,
homegrown
you're right.
vegetable,
It is
I'm sure I
Emerald.
can
get them
figure
wherever
it
I
out.
That's
can.
definitely Emerald,
It has
Anything's
the,
better than
it has the long driveway
yes.
as well.
Long driveways.
We don't use any
Yeah, I
sprays
can
whatsoever.
Yeah, that was pulling from the dregs.
It's amazing.
All organic
I don't know how that just
fertilizer.
popped in my brain.
That's pretty good.
Commercial
I'm impressed.
Somehow
That's
it did.
probably why the
Yeah.
tomatoes taste so good.
Random facts tonight, are we?
Well, clearly we don't have, enough stuff to do, so
Right.
this is what we've,
Throw it on there.
I think it's 12.
Okay.
Let me
Is
just
it
make
lot 12 or the street
Yeah,
number?
but the acorns ain't ready yet.
I think it would be the street.
It's
I
too
think
early
that's
for
the street
acorns.
number.
They didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
have them
12.
in the
One of the
store
old,
when I
No,
looked.
Viner ones,
Are they in, are
But
they a
Norm
later
Hill
winter
originally
squash?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
right? I think Norm Hill was the original engineer.
Yes,
Yep.
that one.
And
It's,
then
it's gotta be
Elbag
an
took it
estate
over?
lot, it was the estate
Or
lot
maybe this
one.
is the one that Elba, I don't know, I'm not gonna.
I'll go back
I-
and visit
I-
that point. I'll figure it out.
Norman Hill for which one?
One on Emerald,
The
cause
Emerald.
originally
They did
land
a couple
planning
of them.
did a couple of them for Viner originally, but then I think Elbag took over when Harity bought it.
Okay. I definitely did the site walk with Mark Elbag, senior.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting, cause
yeah.
I was out there with land planning.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll get the
Okay.
scoop.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other randos?
Jared, you might wanna just text me a I'm gonna, like Friday at 5, I'm gonna totally forget.
I put it on my phone, so I'll
okay, it's
text you at like
6:54
4:30
last
and be like,
night.
hey, we still meeting at 5?
I was sitting on the couch and I was like, I'm supposed to be on select board.
You had perfect timing.
Perfect.
I haven't driven down Palmagussit recently. Can we actually get down there?
So I think he was saying that
You
you
can
might,
access his.
you can access
Yes,
his,
okay.
cause it's the last driveway before the
For the
construction site.
blockage, okay.
So just push your way
Good.
through.
So the road is closed right now at that location, right?
Yeah.
Like completely, okay. Okay.
It's closed, you're gonna have to get begged to let the police let you by because you don't live there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we have to
I'll tell them I'm on official Conservation Commission business.
I'll get you a
Yes.
badge.
They'll say.
We need badges.
We need
We need
badges.
I'll
badges.
put one from
Wetland police.
Amazon. Yeah, but like you can turn down Palmagussit Road, Jared, like there's
Yeah.
no blocks there whatsoever. You
Okay.
can go all the way down past Miles, so you shouldn't have any issues if you're going to his driveway. It's
Okay.
after his driveway that they shut it down.
Got it,
So I
okay.
think you should be okay.
All right,
Or just plow through.
yeah, that works too.
I know the cop like literally stopped me and he's like, where are you going? I'm like, the rail trail? He said, go for it.
Cool.
It was nice. But we have to get down to Devereaux, right? So I have to keep that open.
Yeah, I would think so.
That's true.
The select board did approve or sign the CR last night as well, just as an FYI, so I believe the secretary is gonna, at EEI is signing their page, sending it back, and I'm assuming Clee will record it because it's his cost for recording, so.
I
once
sent
we-
it back to the state today.
Yep, I
They
saw
confirmed
that.
receipt and then, oh, that's right, you were on the email
Yep.
chain. And so I asked them to send it directly back to me so I can make sure that we have a copy with everybody's signatures. And then I'm gonna ask Clea to also provide a copy of the recording confirmation.
Perfect.
Jeez, you're on the ball.
Tim got appointed to Earthworks last night.
That is done?
That's done!
All right.
No questions.
Yay.
Nice.
I think that's it that I have. Any other random thoughts? Otherwise, I will accept.
I don't wanna make this last
Oh,
longer,
oh,
but I'm looking at emails, this 12 Bernard Road email that
Oh.
Tamika forwarded to us.
yes, I didn't look at
Which
that
I
yet.
completely forgot about until
Never
right
even
now.
saw it, have no idea what you're talking about.
So
Thanks,
basically,
Sarah.
if
I'm
that
not reading my emails.
man-made
I looked at my Gmail today, I didn't see it.
wetland,
12 Bernard, what is it?
It's in Watson Estates, which is a subdivision off of Main Street. Actually, girl.
where's this supposed?
Watson Estates?
Yep.
Again, never heard of it. Takes a while to get to know Rutland.
Do you live in town?
Not for
Not
long.
long enough.
Not long enough,
Oh,
I
that's
don't
right.
get out much.
Is that right before? Yeah, kinda near the cemetery, right? Yeah. 12.
Yes, it's, yep. Right
Yeah, it's
after the
off Main.
cemetery on the right.
Watson Lane is the one off of Main Street.
Yes,
and
so
then
if you go
Bernard's
down
off of
Watson
that.
Lane and then
Okay.
Bernard's down there, yeah.
Okay.
And it's right on the corner of Bernard and Brittany.
And what is it
So I
refer
don't
to?
think it's man-made.
Is it a
He said it was
enforcement
a man.
violation?
No, the gentleman was just asking, he indicated it was a man-made wetland and I guess he had some concerns with it and he
It's
wasn't
flooding?
sure, yeah, and he wasn't sure whose responsibility it would fall to if there were issues.
So.
DCR land.
Oh,
Is it?
Yeah, the big thing behind it is.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty large wetland
Yeah.
behind his property, that's definitely not man-made,
No, I don't think so.
and I guess that's been there for a while.
And you can trace it all the way up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love it when it's DCR.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if it's getting bigger. And that's probably why. Do, do, do.
There was probably a notice of intent when his house was built. Not that he was the one that first
Yeah.
purchased it, but,
he was actually,
oh, really?
yes,
That's
Oh
the
my
original
God,
owner?
yeah.
Nice.
When were those built?
92,
Okay, oh yeah,
93.
Wow, it's been there for a while.
alright. So I would say there's some like crap back there
Yeah,
though.
92.
So I would say probably not a man-made wetland, but maybe suggest that he's welcome to send us an email with his concerns, especially if they're about flooding. And we can look into, oh, it says shaft 5 on that property too. So I wonder if some underground,
As you already answered this question about ownership. Yeah,
DCR.
that is coming up DCR. I don't know how that plays into it, but
well, worst case scenario, we can loop Alan into it.
Poor Ellen.
I think I have a standing call with him like every Friday lately.
really.
It's fine, it's fine.
Melissa, one last thing, can anybody do the ECB inspection at Walnut Street before the end of the week?
Sure, almost forgot about it.
Yeah. Yes,
Yes, okay,
as long as he doesn't mind if we just swing by,
I'll just let him know, that's the easiest thing.
I can probably do that by Thursday, if no one else.
I'll let him know, thank you.
Walnut Street.
That's the
Oh, is
dirt
this
bike.
the dirt bike
The
one?
dirt bike track, yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did we decide last meeting? So DCR is making them move it out of the 200 foot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, cause I met Ellen out there.
Oh, that's right, yep.
anything else?
He's made a motion.
I did make the motion, nobody seconded it.
He did, he's still waiting for a second.
Yeah.
Is there a second? Any discussion? Second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor by roll
Clock
call?
eye.
William said I.
Gentilucci, aye.
Dan's aye, we are adjourned 7:08.